Cheese. Where's the bread? There's the bread. That's bread. I've just had a very, very, very good conversation with an old college friend, school friend. Very, very interesting. Very awesome. Very stimulating. One of the best conversations I've had in a long time. I've had some fantastic conversations and whatnot at Wales, but just catching up with someone and just shooting the shit so well. For like, I don't know what it was, 4:45. Yeah, 6 hours of just talking. It was really great. It was really good fun. And just talking about shit and just, yeah, being on the same wavelength about everything, and then investigating why we're on the same wavelength and our backgrounds and linking stuff. It's just really, really, really good. Really good conversation. And before I went there, I was in a pretty not great mental space, and I wanted to walk down there to try to do a bit of walking meditation and listening to a bit of calming music or whatever to try and sort of elucidate my mind and calm it a little bit. It was really good. No, the talk was really good. The walk down there was quite nice. I saw a couple of bunny rabbits, really nice. It was the snow was still set, so sort of prancing about in the snow a little bit, walking on a bit of ice and just playing a bit, I guess, with the environment in that way. Not really. Um, but yeah, I was in a pretty bad place because I was feeling really sort of lonely. I just felt so alone and just felt such a pining for love and just people and I just fucking wanted to be in Redoldog with Indigo. I just wanted to be with her and be intimate and be loved and be held and all that sort of stuff. And I wanted to be in a good place for Donovan. I just because I was just curious. I wanted to be able to be how I am now and just like interested in shooting the shit and not just be really mellow and solemn and whatever. And yeah, we spoke about a lot. The main thing I've taken, or the thing that's still in my head now, is like this idea that I've grasped onto for a long time. It seems this narrative I have of being alone and being lonely, being someone who yearns for affection, and as Donovan said, like we all do. I'm sure we do, and it's just been like it's been I've never had such a deep, really emotional connection with somebody and whatever. And then I had Emma at the festival, and now we're no contact. And with Indigo, we've never been able to be romantic because she's been in a relationship. She doesn't see me that way, and it's just like, fuck. And it at times it really gets me down. It's really painful. And since I've been back, just being stripped out, being pulled out of Ridoldog in Wales, it's just been hard, man. It's been difficult, and yeah. So Donovan was saying how his being in like Long Eaton, being local, living with parents, is like for him it just throws him into like a rut, like a bit of a period of stagnation, a pit of stagnation, and he just feels like he doesn't want to do anything. He just loses his enthusiasm. But when he's out of there, it's like he's like fucking being himself and doing all this shit. And I'm like, I was just like, yeah, man, like fuck, like that's how I feel. But I've always attributed that, at least in great part, to being lonely and just wanting someone. I've always been like, oh fuck, and I don't like, because of like what I've read and my probably stuff to do with reading Stoicism. I don't like the idea of, or I haven't liked the idea of attributing this pain to my environment. And when I say I don't like doing that, what I mean is my mind doesn't go to that at all, really. It does, sorry, it does, because I've talked before about how your environment is very influential. I've talked over the past year about that a fair amount. But I've I've it's not part of my normal thought process. I'm like, okay, well, what am I yearning for? Oh yeah, I'm yearning for intimacy and romantic connection. That's why I'm feeling like this. And it, to some extent, it's true. If I was here with a partner, um, I'd feel less pain probably, especially with someone with whom I was very intertwined with or whatever. Anyway, um, it gave me a fresh perspective, or it gave me, like, oh, Donovan's experiencing the same, but he doesn't experience this yearning. He's got a girlfriend, and he's not like someone who really feels like they need a partner or really wants a partner or whatever. The sense of yearning. Okay, that's fucking awesome because now maybe I don't have to identify with like the idea of I'm lonely. I really want to explore my sexuality to feel less alone or whatever. Um, and I was quite, I've been quite apprehensive about Albania because this past week I've watched a lot of porn and um, some of my days have been, most of my days have been quite lethargic and I've not been doing too much exercise or whatever. Um, and I've been like, oh man, if I'll be the same over there because I'll be alone and I won't be with Indigo and or Rowan and I won't have that support around me. Um, and thus I sort of I was sort of, what do you call it, priming or sort of casting, setting the scene for my time in Albania. I was setting the scene as like, I'm going to go there, I'm going to be alone. I've never felt so much connection with people like I have when I was in Wales, and thus I will be even really fucking alone in Albania. And I wasn't thinking that, but I wasn't like identifying so much, but I was like thinking like, oh, that could be really something that happens, and you know, if you think it, you make it so, or whatever. And I feel that that could have really happened. But hearing Donovan talking about that and saying like, I'm fucking lose all my enthusiasm, it made me go like, yeah, well, maybe it is because I'm fucking living in Stapleford. I'm living in the house I grew up in and everything, and this isn't really where like the last place I really want to be. Like fuck, as Donovan said, like if I, just being in a different house would make it a bit different. But you're not even in the same house. You're not even in a different house. You're in the same house. As it is for him, as for me, and it's like, yeah, it's like throwing, as you said, perfectly. It's like all the stuff I've learned and everything, and all the experience I've had, they've been just thrown out, and I'm back in my 16-year-old self. I'm back in, my house, 89 year. I probably shouldn't say my jigga 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 baga. I'm back in my 43 Weinstein way. You know, Timberland Avenue, Jimmy, Jimmy, Jimmy. I'm back there, and like fuck, that's what it feels like. I feel like I could play League, I can bust a nut and watch porn and overeat sometimes. It's like, yeah, I'm back here. So it is deeper than I think. I like to attribute it to, yes, it's because I'm lonely and I love Indigo and that sort of jazz. But maybe it ain't, mate. Maybe it ain't. And we're gonna meet up in January, probably to go skinny dipping. Yes, skinny dipping. Not fucking wearing any trunks, you fucking cunt. In the Peak District, oh man, that'd be so mint. Or the Lake District to be even better. Even doing it for a few days, fucking, I don't know. I don't know how it'll go, but I really clicked with him, and it was sick. And as a real strong sort of like inkling, I feel like he could be I was thinking about that when I think having a shit just now. Like he could be someone I actually become friends with, like properly, like a real fucking proper friend. And I'd say that like that's got some weight to it, saying that because we really fucking clicked and just talked so much shit about everything, and it was mint. And I loved it. We'll see how it goes. Maybe we have a massive fallout because I like blue and he likes fucking cyan as his favorite color, or he likes smooth peanut butter and I like crunchy, and that would be the real sort of like fork in the road for our friendship. Um, that is only at its inception, our incipient friendship. So yeah, it was mint, and I just wanted to share this because I went from like being in a really fucking bad mood earlier, really feeling down, and like I just wanted to fucking cry, man. Seriously, I felt so like desolate, to being like now where I'm pretty enthused. And Indy messaged me back, and I said that I like fallen for her a bit, like I've fallen in love. I feel quite fucking strong. Um, and then the response I got, she's working here, but it was just like, I'm here for you. I do care. And I know what part of me, when I sent that message, was like, maybe she's not responded because maybe it evoked a really strong reaction within her, and maybe she's realised that she does love me back a bit in that way and wants to be with me. But no, none of that. It ain't gonna happen, Luke. It ain't gonna happen, brother. And that's hard. It's fucking painful, honestly. And some of my old thought patterns come back, like you're unlovable and all that stuff. But it is what it is. Yeah, it's just learning that I don't have to fully identify with that, and other things like my environment, like living at home, do have, can have, but they do have a big impact on what's going on in there and what's going on in there, how I'm feeling, my emotional state, my state of being. Anyway, ciao.